Soundbeams have got more user-friendly as time has gone on, and 5 was beautifully user-friendly, but still, I mean, obviously I'm into my music tech. A lot of schools, these are being bought, and people aren't so au fait with music tech. The Soundbeam 6 is definitely for the classroom. Anyone can operate this machine. It's lovely and simple.
Hello, thanks for coming to see Soundbeam 6.
Pleasure.
We've taken a lot of what was in Soundbeam 5 and in previous versions and brought it up to date with Soundbeam 6.
Great.
So there's a whole host of pre-programmed sound sets, and some of them from Soundbeam 5, of course. As you'll see on these tiles, these all represent the different sound sets, and this one in the bottom left, there's Tintern there. So this loads up our sort of management screen, if you will, where we can audition the different beams.
Okay.
And audition the different switches. But should we just have a listen to what it sounds like?
Yeah, please, yeah. So, backing track still on 1. Yeah. Quality sound.
Better quality sounds.
Better quality sounds, much, yeah. I've come and had a go on this for the first time today, and straight away, a setup that I'm very used to, a favourite setup, Tintern, which is quite a classical, mellow classical piece. The violin was immediately real. It was a real violin. It wasn't a synthesizer pretending to be a violin. It was a violin, and it even, you know, the way it's played, the way a violin is played, you can hear that in the sound, and that's made a massive difference. We do a lot of projects at the moment. We're working with Bournemouth Symphony Orchestra. We're using assistive tech as we do that, and to have it already sounding like the real instrument saves a lot of time, less sampling in from other sources.
We'll look at another sound set,
yes,
and then we'll look at some of the building blocks if you're up for that.
Well, there's one on 5, and you want it Ganges?
Ganges,
We're using that one quite a lot lately. Terminally at our school, we've been doing India and Indian culture.
Okay.
And the clients that I work with really like that setting.
Okay.
So yeah, let's have a look. Ganges.
There we go.
Okay. Move That's a huge difference. That's a real sitar, isn't it?
For each of these pre-programmed sound sets, there's a film associated to them.
Right.
So here on this sound set called Ganges, when you press switch 1 and trigger off the tabla loop, we can then throw some lovely film of the Ganges.
Okay.
So should we have a look at that?
Yes, please.
We're going to have to just shift the lighting a bit.
Sure.
Okay. So with this sound set Ganges that we were working with just now, we'll find that along with the backing track on switch 1, there's also a piece of film that will be displayed on a projector.
Okay.
So if you want to launch that and have a little play and see what you think of that.
Well, that's just great. I mean, that visual aid is fantastic. I mean, it's a great thing for when we're working for more high sensory needs, and to have that visual aid as a cause and effect, it's just an extra, as well as having the sound. So I'm working with a student with high sensory needs, to have an extra thing that will happen when they either touch a switch or activate a beam just doubles the time in which we can learn their learning level, or what level they are to learn. You know, that whole penny drop thing that we're looking for is like, hold on a minute, that's me doing that, which is what essentially we're looking for. To have that as well as the sound just cuts the time by half. That's brilliant. Yeah, and you're in there, aren't you? You're in the Ganges. That's great. That's really good. That is exciting.
That leads me to suggest about Old MacDonald.
Yes.
Which is something I think maybe you work with from time to time.
A lot. Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah, especially with the younger ones, it's a favourite. And I tend to put, make it a bit light-hearted.
So if you can find Old MacDonald there.
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
And the other switch.
Yeah, that is great.
Super sweet cat.
Yes. That is fantastic. Lovely. We've been using Film with ours, but again using other hardware, which means plugging other things into it, buying other packages that can be quite expensive, having to buy a laptop to work with it. To have that all on there is a massive difference, because to add a visual element to what you've got with the sound kind of cuts the time in half for us to find cause and effect with some of our students. It could be, sometimes, as you know, it could be months of someone just making a sound before they have that, what we call the penny drop moment. And you can see it in a facial expression. It's like, that's me doing that. When you add a visual image along with it, it happens a lot quicker. You know, and especially with something like Old MacDonald, you know, they press the button, they hear the sound of the cow, they see a picture of the cow. And the trigger modes on there, that really helps too. So have a trigger mode that will only activate when they press it and will come off when they come off it, just makes cause and effect, or finding cause and effect, a lot easier. We work closely with Soundbeam. I think we're one of the few schools that ours is turned on and used all day, every day across the board. My line managers were very keen for me to come and have a go on the new one, because we have gone from Soundbeam 2 through to every one you've manufactured since, the desktop one, and we've seen the improvements happen over the years. You've hit the nail on the head with this one. I also go around to other schools consulting and, you know, helping them with their Soundbeams. And where the older ones were sort of failing in an education setting, just through complication, this won't. You don't have to be a muso, if you like, to operate this machine. It speaks for itself. You can see the picture of your sensor, you can see what you want to do with it, and it's immediate. And that is just great.